Hi, I'm Neil Sackmary.
Hi, I'm State Trooper Sean Hagstrom with the Nevada State Police Highway Patrol Division, PEIO. Please stay tuned for the next episode of Trooper Talk.
And together, we can make a difference. Here we are live at the 360 Vegas studios with this edition of Trooper Talk. We're going to let everybody introduce themselves because we have a very special guest in the middle. Please introduce yourself, sir.
Hi, I'm State Trooper Sean Hagstrom, and I'm the Public Information Officer for the Nevada Highway Patrol Public Affairs.
And you, ma'am.
I am Captain Shelley Correa with Nevada Highway Patrol, and I oversee our tourism and commercial rural operations.
And you, sir.
I'm Trooper Villanueva with Nevada State Police. I'm the sworn recruiter for Southern Command.
So, let me tell you about many exciting news things that I have, okay? The first thing is that yesterday they had this luncheon for the IPOF.
Yep.
The first time that they ever did it, Heroes Live Forever, sort of honoring anybody who has given the ultimate sacrifice when they put on their shoes to go to work, okay? And so one of the person that was there was Captain Harry Fagel, who is the retired captain from Metro, but he always writes all the poems for just different people of law enforcement. He has many books out and stuff like this, and we got to hang out with him. And then I saw the Major there, and I saw Corporal Wellman there, and I saw Joanna May there, and I saw a whole bunch of other troopers there. It was fantastic. And so as soon as I got there, I was standing there talking with everyone, and the Major sort of walks, to the side of me, and I haven't yet seen the Major since we saw him in the Birkenstocks. Okay?
Did you mention that?
I
about
forgot. No, so this is
Come
what
on,
I'm
Neil.
saying.
That was the big thing.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
so I totally forgot to say,
Yeah.
listen, we both wear Birkenstocks.
That's right.
I saw you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, but I didn't. But I wanted to tell him that I had very exciting news when it came to Trooper Talk. And I was more excited to tell him the great news about Trooper Talk than I was about telling him about the Birkenstocks. Channel 13, we air exclusively the Trooper Talk. And people love the Trooper Talk. They're always coming in and they're saying, we wish it was longer segments. We really love watching. It's really like informative. It's really interesting, and it's fantastic. So I spoke to Channel 13, and I always keep asking. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care. You know what I mean? I'll keep asking, and then they can just keep saying no until they finally say, listen, this guy is such a pest that we're just going to say yes.
Give him what he wants.
Give him what he wants.
That's right.
Trooper Talk we air on Tuesday and Thursday on Channel 13, and now they gave me Trooper Talk on Sunday morning.
Oh,
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 wow.
nice.
Right
Beautiful.
out of the 8:30, it's at 8:24 to 8:29, so right out of the 8:30 news.
Okay. Nice.
And so now we air Trooper Talk 3 times a week
nice.
instead of the 2 times a week. And, it's really wonderful. And so when I had a chance to go to the IPOF thing, so Johnny and I, we've been so busy, like I was telling you, with this staffing thing that it's like it's killing me. And so one of the greatest things that I love to do is to go to the IPOF meeting. I see Sergeant Whitmarsh there. I used to see Lieutenant Stunkel there. And, it's sort of like the time that I get to say thank you for what it is that they have done. Especially Lieutenant Stunkel when she sort of took in for the IPOF and became the president and and stepped in ways that are insurmountable. And then Sergeant Whitmarsh, who I've known for so many years that we finally got to come on the Trooper Talk, right? At the
Absolutely.
200th
I got him on there.
episode, which
Yeah.
was very special.
Absolutely.
And then secondarily, how he's stepping in at the IPOF to take over for Nick Feccio, who is retiring, has retired, but is taking over for the Treasury position of the IPOF. And so it's wonderful that the Nevada State Police is there for the Nevada State Police. And then when it comes to all these wonderful things that the Nevada State Police does, a lot of them are A, unnoticed, and B, they're done on a volunteer basis. And so it's not like, Sergeant Whitmarsh is getting paid to go to the IPOF and to be, you know what I mean? And for the major, and they took a whole table, right? They had all the Nevada State Police at the one table. But it was special because each branch of the law enforcement sort of had their own own table. And then, they had the mayor from all the different places and all this. And, and so it's very, very special. And so one of the things that I wanted to talk about is the fact that being with Nevada State Police, that everyone loves everyone. And there's not this, well, you work for this agency, and so you're not a nice person. And you work for this agency, and we get along. And so there's this real camaraderie because in the state of Nevada, everyone needs everyone. And so in the rural, right, Nevada State Police works with the Metropolitan Police, and you know what I mean? Like, they work hand in hand. And so anyway, and I haven't seen you in 3 weeks.
Absolutely.
Right.
Hey, no, but you know what, Neil?
Talk.
Go ahead. No, that's one thing. We don't really have rivals. All the allied agencies in the whole metro area work together all the time. Yeah. Matter of fact, I'm going to put something on your show a little bit later because it's a little too early right now, but I organized a thing with Northwest Area Command with Metro, and we're going to have coffee with a cop. And we're hoping to get Shelley here. And let me tell you about Shelley, because you just brought up about, because I'm hoping someday that Sergeant Adam Whitmarsh becomes president of IPOF, because I think he'd do a great job. But you were talking about a lot of our troopers volunteering for things, and they don't get paid for a lot of these things. And we do a lot of stuff for like Special Olympics or there's so many different organizations, but I just want to put that out because Shelley donates her time. I'm sorry, I should call you Captain. The captain donates her time to go to different functions for like Special Olympics. And one of the last times she went to Texas Roadhouse, and she's out there dancing, getting her gig on. You know what I mean? Yes. And she doesn't get paid for that. This is all donated because we feel heartfelt about helping our community and giving back. And Special Olympics is one of those that we do that for, and we do it for a variety of different organizations throughout the community. So that's some of the things that our troopers do that get unseen from the public that, they probably think, oh, look at their cars out there and they're getting paid to do this. No, we're volunteering to do that. We have to get permission from our command. They actually go to these events, but we're donating our time and they allow us to do it because it's part of a community event.
Well, talk to us. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You do these things.
I do, and I enjoy it. I love it. It's a lot of fun. It just kind of allows us, and there's various law enforcement agencies out there doing it with us, but we just get to go out there and have fun and talk and meet with everybody because, obviously the first thought when someone sees police, it's negative, right? It's going to be a negative encounter. They don't view us as human. So when we get to do these events, the polar plunge, the tip a cop, the coffee with a cop, the back to school drives, it humanizes us to the community and lets them see that, we have families and we have things going on in our lives too. So it's just kind of fun and enjoyable, shopping with the cops and just all the great things that we get to do. And it's really exciting. You talked about the rural areas, like my Laughlin guys, they do some fishing, teaching kids how to fish down at the river. And, my Alamo guys get to do a lot of different cool opportunities and work with their local schools and their other community events. So it's not just Las Vegas or, in the city. It spreads statewide for everything. So it's just a lot of fun. And I think NHP specifically, or Nevada State Police, we really push it that we want all of our guys being involved in the community, regardless of their duty station or what their assignment is. And it's fun.
Yeah.
And we've highlighted that too,
Yeah.
just to let the captain know that we've had our Laughlin sergeant and we've showed them fishing and all the community things. And then we also had our troopers that were serving out of McDonald's out the window.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Trooper
so
Perkins, yeah.
I mean, so
That was
absolutely.
with Lieutenant Grant Rogers.
Yes.
Yep.
Because we put all that on
Yeah.
there too.
Yeah.
So
It's
we want
just a
people
lot
to
of
know,
fun.
and just like we love to engage with the community. So if people want have questions, and they want to know what we're doing, or they just never knew what the back scenes, and this is what's great about your program, is we get to highlight everything throughout the Nevada State Police, just not our agency alone. So it's great bringing different people on and showing the different aspects of what they do, whether it's criminal investigations or Capitol Police guarding our state buildings. People get to go in the inside of the Nevada State Police with your show to kind of see what we do on a daily basis.
We had Trooper Thayer on, and then we had the sergeant come on that did the Coffee with the Cop from Laughlin.
Yep, Travis.
And like it's really wonderful because when he was on, he highlighted how he didn't live there.
Yeah.
And then he used to travel, right? And then he decided with him and his family that okay, they're going to move there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And make this a permanent residence. And so it's fantastic. Speaking of which, and I'll get to you next, that I received text messages from Sergeant Clifton
Okay.
Oh, that's
because he had the baby. His
did.
wife had the baby.
Yes.
Yep, we
Yes.
saw that. I should have. Well, I didn't know if you wanted
Right,
to put
I
the
know.
pictures in.
So I
but
could just
yeah.
I could just say that
Yeah.
he sent me the
Yes.
picture. Congratulations.
Congrats.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But
Beautiful baby.
but
Beautiful.
he lives in a rural area
Yep.
with a farm and tractors and horses and all this type of stuff. But he works for Nevada State Police.
Correct.
Yep.
So how many miles does Nevada State Police give you that you can work? We went over that.
75 miles. So from your residence to your duty station is 75 miles.
And so if you work for Nevada State Police, there are so many opportunities. You drive the ghost car, or not that nothing has.
The non-marked.
Non-marked, right? You guys drive the Mustangs.
We do.
And part of the driving of the Mustangs is not so you can look cool and all,
Right.
and people can try to race you, right? We found out that somebody tried to pull up next to him, and because I asked him last week, I said, has anybody ever pulled up alongside you and tried to race? He said, you know, this happened this morning, and
That same morning. Yeah.
but you drive them so people know the sophisticated cars that you have.
Correct.
So that they get excited. So they say, I want to be like that. I want to drive this car. How's recruiting going?
Recruiting is going great, actually. We're having a lot of applicants, out-of-state applicants even, come put applications in with us, as well as laterals. We're having a lot of laterals transferred from outside agencies, not only in town, from out of state as well. We're getting a ton from New York, California, people just trying to make a change in their lives and better their futures and whatnot. But yeah, the cars are just one of the great things that Nevada State Police has to offer. Everything that the department does for us is for the better. We have the best equipment, we have the best training, we have the best uniforms. Everything that we get and are provided for us is the best. It's top of the line. We don't get anything that's cheap or, hey, you know what, we're getting a discount on this, so we'll get a bundle of it and we'll just give it to our troopers. It's never that way. Every single piece of equipment that's issued to us is top of the line, so it definitely helps with the recruiting, because I can tell you none of the agencies in the state even or on the western side of the U.S. has Mustangs. So,
And you know, I watched this show on the weekends that they follow the law enforcement on Friday and Saturday night. And so it's live, it's not like a recorded one. And so it's very interesting because you're actually watching live what law enforcement goes through. You know, like, you know, that somebody tries to, run on the side of them for the move over law, you know what I mean, or these type of things. And so this weekend, they were driving down the road and all of a sudden it goes beep, 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 be on the lookout, because a stolen car drove past the officer in a white Tahoe. You know, they didn't know,
Yep.
right? And he had the license plate reader.
yep.
Which we have.
Yep.
And so sophistication, which here's where I'm going with this. So the person went through 3 different neighboring cities, okay? They can't describe the secretive nature of some of the things that they do, which we respect, you know what I'm saying? But they said, because of some of our technology that we have, we were able to know where this person was and when he was coming into our city, because he kept doing things that were very bad, and so we could try to capture this person.
Right.
Well, it turned out that the guy let met up with the girl, and the girl drove the car into the city, and he was following in the Uber.
Oh my gosh.
And so they pulled the car over, and the guy, because he was so close to the right, that they pulled the Uber over right after, and they didn't know, and it was the guy, and so he was wearing the specific baseball hat, right? And the baseball hat was in the back of the Uber. And the guy kept saying, you know, it wasn't me. And they said, well, is this your baseball hat? He goes, yeah, this is my baseball hat. And they go, well, this is you on video driving past us with this baseball hat. Technology is so important that when someone is driving with speeding or impairment or doing bad things, people have to know that law enforcement is smart. And so they don't do these things to try to make someone's life heck, right? They're there to protect the city that or the state. And for Nevada State Police, they protect the entire state. And so they can drive on any road. They can go in any parking lot. They're not bound by one specific jurisdictional area. And these are some of the things that Nevada State Police does that other agencies don't do, right?
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, like you said, technology is always getting better. Matter of fact, we're probably going to have our traffic homicide unit on later on down the road on your show, and we're getting brand new drones. And with that kind of technology, that we use it for all of our traffic diagramming for fatals. And they have a 3D diagram that when they put everything together, they can actually show what the car was doing prior to the crash and showing the pathway of the crash. And what me and you might see on a ground level, just taking photos, which we used to do and everything, having that drone technology flying over, you can actually see the marks in the road, the paths, everything. And this is just one of our technology. I mean, we talked about the license plate readers that we're getting. You know, as technology progresses, now a lot of these states they're testing out some of these where they pull up behind somebody that's in a pursuit, and it shoots out like electrodes that can shut down the car. But they also have ones that wrap up the tires, and it stops your tires, and your car comes to a complete stop.
Yeah.
So police technology is ever changing, always for the better, and for the safety of the public and for the safety of the persons that we do have to make contact or possibly arrest in the future. So yeah, we're very excited. One of the things I can say is Nevada State Police is always up on getting the newest technology, but our biggest thing is training. We have superior training compared to most states nationwide. A lot of people, we've talked about this in the past, like small agencies, they might go to a state academy, and that's all the training they ever get. Where we have to go every other month or monthly on certain things to do certain training. We got an annual training too, where we have defensive tactics, you know, our medical, everything else that we put together, and then we shoot, you know, 2 to 4 times during the quarters to make sure that we're up on our firearms. So we are always constantly training. We have new training coming out, and now we have, I think this coming couple months, we have Field Force coming out, and that's going to be a new training through the federal government, you know, for riot control and stuff like that. So we're keeping up with all this training, technology, and everything, and that's what's great about the Nevada State Police. We're never behind anybody. We're almost like our partners, and I got to say another agency because they are like innovators, like CHP. They're always looking at newer things, and it falls across the nation once they start doing these new activities. So we're starting to do that and incorporate everything, and we've been doing it for quite a while, and we're becoming very good. And we've talked about, you know, like our let me see, like our school training, you know, for possible shooters, everything else. We train with other agencies. So like we said, if we have to go to a school shooting or something massive is happening, no matter what agency shows up, they know what their position is. If they have like 4 guys that show up, they know exactly where to go, what to do, how to enter the buildings. So we train in this constantly. So, you know, it's muscle memory. So we know once we get there, we don't have to think about it. It's already in our system that we know exactly what we're going to do with these other agencies. And it's superior training. And that's one thing I can say that Nevada State Police provides for everybody.
Yeah, and we talk about tourism, right? You know, one of the things that we have different here than in most places is that a lot of people from all over come here. We have people that come here from other countries that don't speak the language, that rent cars, that don't understand the proper way to do things, but that want to feel safe. And then we have a lot of people that come here enter the United States, that drive here or fly here, that rent cars and do things. And we want people to know that when they come here, please have a good time. Go out, enjoy the nightlife, enjoy the festivities, whatever it is that you feel like you want to do, as long as it's legal, right? But the thing is that we don't want you to get behind the wheel.
Right.
We don't want you to do these things that are going to make our tourism not good, and don't want people to come here because they're like, this isn't a safe place.
Right.
And so this is something that's so important, that people know that our tourism and everything like that, that there's someone that is of the command staff that is watching that is looking at this stuff, that is having meetings with inside of Nevada State Police and other agencies, because you care. And this is one of the things that Nevada State Police does different from most people, which is that the command staff is there. The command staff is there for anyone who is just joining, all the way up to the top. And so it's really special, and someone of your statute, again, to come onto the trooper talk, you could just say, I'm not coming.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I just
He's been asking, and I was like, all right, I got a free Thursday.
Right.
Let's go.
But it means so much
Yeah.
because we appreciate you, and to be able to come on and share what you do and your stories. There is right now, and again, not only because of Trooper Wellman, Corporal Wellman, we always love to highlight the women of Nevada State Police, but there is a girl or a woman that is watching right now and saying, this is what I want to do, but I don't know how.
Yeah, I will tell you, I started my career at the Parole and Probation division, and they're a little bit more female heavy versus the Highway Patrol side. But I mean, I have daughters, young, myself, well, young adults, I guess. They're in college, so they're living their best life. But, you know, I think being a female specifically in law enforcement in general, and I won't speak for everybody, but my experience personally, Nevada State Police worked out wonderful for me and my family. My husband works in a law enforcement capacity as well, so we always had to work opposite shifts, especially when we had our children were younger and they couldn't be self-sufficient, and we made it work. So I think that's one advantage that we do have with Nevada State Police specifically, is we women typically are the caregivers for home and the children, and you can make it work. And yes, there's schedules involved, and there's some things that are beyond the control of the agency, right? Agency needs have to be factored in first and foremost, but it's doable. And I would tell anybody, whether it be my daughter, their friends, but any young person in general, if it is something that you are considering, try it. It is the most amazing opportunity. I've been on for almost 25 years. I'm coming up to my 25-year anniversary, and I wouldn't change anything about what I did. And I moved away from home. I did not know anybody when I moved out here. I moved out here specifically to work for the Nevada State Police. I was by myself. My husband wasn't here yet. He did come with me later, but it was the best experience of my life, being in my young 20s and trying it. And my mom's rule was, because I moved away from home, I wasn't allowed to go home for a year. I was not allowed to come back. She said, I have to give it a year. you got to try it. You don't know. And then that year mark came, and I was getting married, and my husband was like, "What are we doing?" And I'm like, "I'm staying." So try it. Step out of your comfort zone. If it's something that you want to do, I always knew for some weird reason when I was a kid, I was like, I want to work in law enforcement. I don't know why. I have no idea why. I did not come from a family of law enforcement, but I wanted to help people. Nursing wasn't my thing. I don't think I'm tolerant enough to be a teacher. And so I was like, I'm going to be a cop. That's what I'm going to do. And so I went to college and I got my degree in criminal justice, and I wouldn't change anything about what I did for my career. And, you know, we all can say good and bad about our careers. I don't care what agency you work for. I don't care what profession you work for. There's always the, why or whatever. You always have that low, right, when you work in something for so long. But overall, my career has been amazing, and I wouldn't change anything about it. Not one experience that I had, whether it be good or bad, it made me grow as a person. It made me grow as a captain. It made me a little bit less naive to the world. And I get a lot now through friends that their kids are becoming, I don't know what I want to do. I want to maybe do law enforcement. I don't know. I do a ride along. There's so many opportunities, specifically with the Nevada State Police. I mean, we're unique, right? We have parole and probation, we have Capitol Police, we have NDI, we have Highway Patrol. There's so many umbrellas that we fall under. Go right along. Taste the water. See what it looks like. Go through the process. I mean, the process is a little long because you have to go through an extensive background check, and you have to do all these other things to become a sworn. But we have civilian positions. You know, be a dispatcher, be an administrative assistant, you know, parole and probation as specialists. Like, there's so many different avenues if you want to work in the field. Look at it. Reach out. Ask 1.5 million questions. I mean, Trooper Villanueva knows one of my friends from New York is trying to come out as a lateral. And so I'm like, hey, like, this is what I'm pushing. Like, you know, he communicates beautifully with everybody. So if you're not sure, ask questions. Ask questions, see what the opportunities are. Because sometimes I feel like you don't know what's out there until you meet someone that's willing to share the information. I didn't know anything about parole and probation. I was a college student at Arizona State University in Tempe, and I was in the last semester of classes, and I met a group of kids my age, and they're like, I work at the Juvenile Detention Center in Mesa. I didn't know anything about it. I only knew, you know, that I wanted to be a street cop. I had no idea what was out there. So I just push it. And I think there's some females specifically that get a little apprehensive because they want to have families and they want to, it's doable. It's 100% doable if I tell you nothing more. I mean, it takes a village. I have the most amazing neighbors and friends that I've met that when there's been a work conflict with my husband and I, we have the community to help when needed, especially because we specifically didn't have family out here, but go for it, do it. Like, it's so much fun. It's every day's a new day. It's not the repetitiveness of, you know, the same old thing every single day. I mean, it can be at times,
100%.
but
He's
like,
got the best hair too, right?
he does, yeah.
It's always perfect.
But I mean, I can't stress it enough. Like, it is just amazing. It is. I mean, I wouldn't have changed anything. I planned on retiring last year, and yet here I am still.
We
so
don't want you to go anywhere.
I mean, it's a great agency to work for. Great.
I thought you were going to go into how we embarrass him because his mom comes on here and his wife comes on here.
That's family oriented.
But it's important. You know what I mean?
Is.
Like it's the good things that people need to hear.
Yeah.
Right. And that again, people are watching right now. Mm-hmm. And so here's the thing: not 100 people that apply get in.
Correct.
You know what I mean? And so it's not just that you have that you can pass all these tests and all that type of stuff that you're automatically getting into the class. That's not the case. And so there's dedication and there's things that you put yourself out there, just like the captain said, right? That I have someone that I know that is interested maybe in coming out here. But you're the person who's going to facilitate that. If they don't jive with you, they're like, I'm staying in New York.
Yeah.
But I want to come out here, and so I need someone who's going to help me create this pathway.
Correct.
And that's something that you do by being the sworn recruiter, right?
Right. I try to accommodate all of our lateral applicants that are coming from out of state. I mean, I try to accommodate everybody, but especially our out of state laterals, just because it's already such a hassle and our process is rather lengthy. So for her friend, I had him just, hey, what day works for you? I know you're going to be in town for a couple of days. What's the best day that you can meet us to get your physical testing done? We scheduled a date, and we got his physical testing done on one morning that worked for him. I tried to send him everything prior, so then that way he had all the stuff that he needed to get the test done. So I try to facilitate as much as I can prior to whatever it is that's coming up. So for all of our new applicants, I try to send out all of the information for the physical testing and the written testing at least a month in advance, so then that way you have stuff to study. I send out study guides for the written exam. I don't want you to come to the test not prepared. A lot of people also do get test anxiety, and that the study guide helps with that a lot, and it also comes with a practice test to help with the anxiousness and whatnot. But another thing that I kind of wanted to touch on is we also have certain standards and requirements that need to be met, not just the physical and the written testing. If you have any felony convictions, you will be disqualified from the process. If you have any domestic violence charges, convictions, you will be disqualified from the process. Any drug-related charges, including manufacturing of the drugs, you will be disqualified. Another big one that we keep seeing is tattoos. You cannot have tattoos on the backs of your hands, on any part lower than your wrist. You can't have any tattoos on your neck or any on your face. The only thing that you can have is a wedding band on your ring finger on your left hand. Other than that wedding band, it is a disqualifier. Unfortunately, we have a standard and we have a uniform that we wear, and we want to keep that appearance. And we're not saying that tattoos are bad at all, because if you do have a sleeve tattoo or arms tattoos, you are able to show those.
It has to be below.
It has to be below the wrist. So those are just some of the disqualifiers that may get you kicked out of the process. Yeah, we have other stuff that we kind of look at, credit, financial situations and stuff like that. We're not saying you have to have a perfect 800 credit score. That's not what we're looking for at all. There's just different parameters that we're kind of feeling out for and whatnot.
I can imagine. I want to get this picture. A person would manufacture drugs and then be like, oh, well, I decided that I wanted to be,
You would be surprised.
Lately, that's what they've
time.
been getting lately. I'm just saying.
The reality of it is everybody makes a mistake.
Right, yes.
Everybody makes a
Yeah.
mistake. Doesn't make you a
bad
person or someone.
When you get older, you grow out of it.
Yeah,
so you
Right,
just-
but there's a professional standard that has to stay within our profession.
Yeah.
And it's important because, as you know, one bad move nationwide in law enforcement will trigger, or has the ability to trigger, a negative connotation to anybody in law enforcement. We've seen that
We've already seen that.
a million times through my career. So it's so important that you have to take pride in yourself. You have to invest in yourself if you want to work for us or any law enforcement agency. And so it's not to say that it's a bad thing if you made mistakes. There's certain things that can be overcome and overlooked. But we can't lower our standards, because then we get looked at.
Right.
When someone else in another state or another country does something, it affects all of us. It's not just that one group or just that one person. It's a nationwide story. So, we have to maintain some professional standards. And really, I think then when you do make it through that process and you get hired and you get this uniform and you get your smoky and your tie and all these great things that come with it, you deserved it. You worked really hard and you made good choices to get there, right? Like it allows you to say, there's a lot of things I had to do to get there and to wear this and to have that ability to drive that Mustang or whatever that looks like. So there's some things that just can't be lowered.
Yeah, and that's what's important. You know what I mean? We talk about the finest.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And the best of the best and all this type of stuff. And, you know, you are going out and you are representing the state of Nevada.
Yeah.
Not that one agency is different because you're still representing the Clark County or Henderson. We were with the North Las Vegas chief yesterday, right? And we were with Chief Black Eye from the Clark County School District Police. And we were just sitting there talking, and I remember seeing her before she became the chief of North Las Vegas, and you know what I mean, and all these type of things. And so Nevada State Police represents the state.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, last and final thing, we're going to look at this camera and we're going to wave. All right, see you soon.
Bye, guys.